So, you're new into trucking, or more or less new, and you want to know how to pick a company. Well, I'm going to run you through some things to look for when doing just that. Check it out. What's going on, everybody? Sitting here in Plainfield, Indiana. It is hot as fuck. Turn this air vent a little more towards me. Been out for 2 weeks now. I'm about to be going home. Oh wow, we're shaking around a lot. I guess y'all are gonna have to deal with that. Truck's idling. It's been a long 2 weeks. Started out last week doing my usual Gary to Arlington, Texas. Ran over to Fort Worth, picked up a load. Ran that up to Streetsboro, Ohio. Excuse me. Picked up a load out of Rittman, Ohio. Ran that over back to Gary. And then ran out to our office in Hampshire and picked up a load that went down to Orlando, Florida. Grabbed this load out of Jacksonville the next day and ran recap hours back up here to Indiana. And then I'm going to be going to pick up a load here when these guys are done with me, whenever that'll be. Going back home. But anyways, I just want to get that out of the way, let y'all know what's been going on. I haven't been out this long since I worked for Crete. It's kind of exciting to have that adventure again. So, anyways, the topic of this video, picking a company. So, you don't know where to begin when looking for who you want to work for. Okay. If you don't have your license, you want to try and find a company that offers CDL training and offers you being able to get your license through them. Now, chances are these companies won't be very good because they're driver mills. Basically, you work for them for an obligated contract and then you want to get the hell away. So let's say you've done all that. Let's say you've or even if you haven't, this video could be for you. Some basic things that you want to look into when searching for a company. First off, the most two important things, in my opinion. Now, this is my opinion. This is not a how, well, this is a how-to, but this is not a be-all, end-all. There's a lot of other information out there. If you don't like what I've got to say or you want to compare and contrast, go ahead. Two most important things to me are home time and pay. What are they going to be paying you? Because let me tell you, you don't want to be working for 30 cents a mile. You don't want to be working for 40 cents a mile. You want, after a year's experience, you want to be somewhere between 45 and 50 is pretty good for, having a year or two experience. So you want to look into that. You want to look into, do they pay detention pay? You want to look into, do they pay a bonus for a clean DOT inspection? You want to look into, what's their breakdown pay? If their breakdown pay is something stupid like $50 a day after 5 hours of being broke down, no, that's fucked up. You don't want that. You want it basically to start right away, and you want a respectable wage. Just like detention. Most companies will pay you after 2 hours of detention, and you want to look into what that hourly rate is going to be. $20-25 an hour for detention, it's pretty good. That's what I feel most companies should be paying their company drivers. $12-15 detention pay, get the fuck out. Don't even talk to me. Because if, when you're a company driver and you're making that mileage pay, if your wheels ain't turning, you're not earning. So if you're sitting, you got to find some way to be making money. You want to know about layover pay. If they don't have a load for you till tomorrow or whatever, how are they going to compensate you for sitting at the truck stop for the whole day, wasting your whole day, basically? So those are important things. If you got a pet, you want to know your pet policy. Oh, I skipped home time. So you want to know, what their home time is like. When I worked for Creed, it was a mandatory minimum 21 days out. The company I work for now, I'm generally home every weekend, as you've seen. I decided to stay out an extra week, doing a favor for my boss running down to Orlando. Especially if you got a family at home. Oh, they just locked me into the dock. I was wondering what the fuck that noise was. Especially if you got a family at home, you want to know about that home time. Are they going to get you home every weekend? Are they going to get you home every 2 weeks, every month? And how many days do you get to spend at home? Generally, what most companies do is 1 day home for every 6 days out. But you got to stay out 3 weeks. So that's 21 days. We'll round it down to the 18. That is 3 days home. Now, what I used to like to do is I used to like to stay out for 4 or 5 weeks at a time, so that way I would get like a whole week at home, basically. They didn't really ever count Saturdays and Sundays. If you got a pet that you have on the road with you, and you want to, continue having them on the road with you, you want to know about their pet policy. What kind of pet deposit are they going to make you pay? Is it refundable? You want to know what kind of trucks they're driving. If that's important to me. Like, if I go to apply for a company and it's all Volvos and Freightliners, I'm going to tell them not interested. I don't care what the mileage rate is. If it's a truck I don't want to drive, I'm not going to drive it. Right now I'm driving an International ProStar. I like ProStars. Trying to get into a Peterbilt. Boss man, if you're watching, want that Peterbilt. You want to know, do they come with an APU, which generally is... An APU basically keeps you cool and keeps your appliances running without having to idle the truck. This truck does not have one. I was supposed to have a truck with one, but we're not going to get into that. It's nothing bad, but nothing good either. Eventually, down the road, yes. But since we're just starting out, no. Somebody coming out to talk to me? No. I keep hearing a bunch of noises. Like, I'm the only truck on this whole side of the building. So, I keep hearing what sounds like footsteps, but it's not footsteps. Anyways, if they don't have an APU, what is their idling policy? Do they allow you to have an inverter in the truck? Does the truck come with an inverter? Does the truck come with a fridge? Do they provide you with satellite TV? Some companies will do that. Not all. Most don't. You shouldn't base that as your caveat to, am I going to work there? If TV is important to you, then maybe that's an icebreaker for you. Maybe that's a deal breaker. I don't know. Me, it's not. I use PlayStation Vue for $50 a month. What else? What kind of miles are they going to give you? I guess that coincides with my first point of pay. What kind of miles are they going to give you? If they're going to tell you they're going to pay you 55 cents a mile, but they generally only run 1,500 to 2,000 miles a week, no. Unless that's all you want to make. But otherwise, why did you get into trucking? Got into trucking to make money, right? You're not going to make money doing that. Now, if they say we're going to pay you 45 cents a mile, generally we run about 28 to 3,000 miles a week. Now we're talking. That's decent pay. So yeah, you want to know how many miles you're going to run? Do they offer team driving? Or do they make you team drive? That's a big thing. I will not team drive. Unless it's with somebody I really like and really know. Other than that, I will not do it. And even at that, it's iffy. I'm a very nervous passenger. What is their tolls policy? Do you cover the tolls and they reimburse you, or do they give you the Easy Pass, the Pike Pass, the Sun Pass, the Texas Tag, all that shit? My company, I have an Easy Pass. But for instance, down in Florida, I had to cover the tolls, and I'm going to get reimbursed for that. What else? Do they have a driver-facing camera? If there's a driver-facing camera in that truck, I will not drive it. They don't need to be looking at you, and no matter what they say, they can and will turn it on. They'll claim, it only turns on automatically if it detects an event. It records like 6 seconds before and 6 seconds after. That's bullshit. They can turn it on any old time they want. And if you forget to close the curtains when you're going on a date with yourself, well, they're going to see a little more than they want to see. My company does not need to see me singing along or doing whatever I do. We'll just leave it at that. Let's see. What do they run for their logging software? Do they run Geotab? Do they run Keep Trucking? Do they run Qualcomm? Do they run PeopleNet? What are you familiar with? If you're familiar with Qualcomm, you might want to go to a company that already, still uses the Qualcomm. Then you already know how to use the system. All you got to do is learn how to use their macros and stuff like that. Let's see. What else? What experience level do they require? Because that's a big one. If a company's out there saying that they require 4 years experience or something like that, you know that they want experienced drivers, and you know that they probably pay well and have a good safety record and have nice equipment. If they're saying, we take anybody from 0 days experience on, you know that their pay might suck, their equipment's probably going to suck, and they're probably a mega fleet. Trying to think what other things you should look into when looking into a company. I think that's pretty much the important things. Yeah, I think I hit every point that I had in my head. If you guys can think of anything else that I may have missed, feel free to comment. Feel free to leave a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, all that good shit. Or leave a thumbs down and troll me. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want to do. I'm just here trying to help people. Do I sometimes bust balls and make parody videos and make fun of the trolls? Oh, hell yeah. I love rattling cages. But I also like helping new people and helping people who might need help, because that's just what we do out here on the road. We help our fellow truck drivers. And we don't charge them anything. All right? You guys have a good one. And maybe I'll see you out on the road. See ya.